Hi. Greetings to all of you lovely people enjoying Friday afternoon, and hopefully we can be part of it, at least maybe for a few minutes, or for those of you who are watching from replay, maybe it's a weekend. So fingers crossed it is being a nice Friday and weekend for all of you. Today we are going to be continuing with our live streaming about 21 tips how to live the life you love, and I'm very pleased that I will have Susanna Taylor joining me in a little moment. So in the meantime, let us know, guys, how are you doing, and say hi. Let me know whether you can hear me okay, and also where you joining us from. So I'm going to see whether Zuzka is already with me. Zuzi, if you are there, send me a little message. I'm going to search for you also. And just to say that today we are going to continue with this subject because we realize it's so broad that we had to actually chop it down into more pieces. So this is a part 2. And today we are going to be continuing with this, starting with relationships, because we realize that relationships are big part of our life, and I'm talking about relationships with your family, friends, relationship with yourself, with your partner, with your children, all the important relationships. And we are going to be sharing a lot about this and how is it affecting our life in a maybe sometimes negative, but also how it can affect our life, how we can transform it into something much more positive in terms of being able to live the lives we love. Zuzi, ahoy!
Ahoy, hello, hi everyone.
Hi, sweetie. I'm really glad you are with us. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
So,
nice to be here.
Nice to be here. Yes, thank you for finding time, because Zuzana is very busy girl, same as me. She's also wonderful mom of 2 beautiful children and wife and a housewife and a businesswoman. Susie, briefly just introduce yourself.
Everything, like we all are, isn't it? We sometimes don't even give ourselves a pat on the back like what we do everything. But yeah. So I'm a transformational business coach. I help women on their, not just with business, but also on their life journey. And the main thing that I do is to help them connect with their true self, with their real self, who they really are. So that they can build the business, start the business, or build on the business based on their values, and that is actually aligned with them, not by copying somebody else, because that is something that is not really true to themselves. So yeah, thank you for having me. And this live is perfect, it's perfect for that as well.
Yes, absolutely. My name, most of you know me, my name is Lucia Hoxa. I'm fertility mindset coach, and what I do is, yes, helping women to have their dream baby, but not from the perspective of medical science, because I realize that most of these ladies have so much knowledge about, medical side, but many times they're not thinking about other things that can impact the whole journey towards motherhood. And like with everything in life, most of it is actually our mindset. Actually, they say is 80 to 85% of any success in life, including business, motherhood, whatever we are aiming for. It is our set, the way we are wired up, that internal conversation we have with ourselves, with others. We all have a capacity to create the life we love, which is the subject we are talking about today. And it is only possible when the conversation in our head is the one that is really, truly creating the life that we want to live. And so that's what we are going to be talking about. This is a part 2. And again, welcome everyone. Today we are going to be talking about 21 tips how to live the life we love, we truly love. And I don't mean just, looking good on a Facebook, but, like in here, so we are happy with what we have, who we are being surrounded by, where we live, and so on. And but mainly, happiness is coming from in here. It's something that doesn't need to be.
That makes me think, like, let us know what happiness means to you guys. Let us know in the comment, what does it mean to you? So that'd be great.
That'd be great. And it can be just like one word,
Yeah.
like happiness is when I see my children smiling, or little sentence or little comment. I would love to hear though.
Lots of different things, isn't it? But what, maybe right now, what does it mean to you? What does it mean to you, happiness?
Yes.
Yes.
Or you can also, I would love this. Zuzi, thank you for this. This is great. Maybe you can also, if you're feeling like, yes, but I'm not feeling particularly happy right now, so you can finish the sentence that goes like, I would be happy if ... Okay? So fill in the blanks. I would be happy if ...
Great.
Very good. Okay, so let's start. And we are going to start with number 7. Guys, if you want to see the streaming that we done last week, that was part 1, I will put it in comments at the end of our streaming, so you'll find it there in our comments in case you want to see the part 1. Now we are going to continue with the part 2, and the number 7 is about letting go of negative people in your life. So let's talk a little bit about this. Zuzi, what do you feel? Why is this important, and what this means for you?
Yeah, first I would start with letting go of negative people. What does it mean? What does it mean? Who is negative? Who are these negative people? Because sometimes, or maybe to start with, but depending where we are on the journey, and also if we meet new people or something like that, we don't know whether they're negative, or to us it means that it doesn't mean they're bad people or they're negative people. They're living their life and going on their journey. It's just how it affects us, and how does it make us feel, and how does it bring the best out of us, the way when we interact with them or when we're around them. Usually it's probably people that we are around quite a lot, because the people that we meet in the street, whether they're positive or negative in our eyes, it doesn't really affect us that much. It's probably the people that are around us for, that are quite close to us, or that are around us, that affect us. So yeah, I mean, it depends who they are, whether they're close family or friends, or some or people that we are in daily contact with, and it affects our lives, so that we're not happy. Or so really assess the situation. Have I done enough, or have I looked at myself, and have I done enough or contributed to the situation that we were in? Maybe there is a particular situation, how I can resolve it, how I can change it, how I was behaving. It's all these little things. And if I feel, personally, from my experience, if I feel I've done everything I could, try this way, do it that way, and if it's someone that I think, and it happened to me, obviously, I think that, is this person contributing to me being my best, or is this person taking away from me,
my energy,
from being my best? Yeah. How am I around this person? And it's happened to me, and I had to make this decision. So if it's not, and I tried everything, and whatever I've done was taking away my energy, I wasn't really myself. I couldn't be myself. So again, I'm saying, depending on the situation, I was always being friendly. There was no arguments or anything. I did cut this person off, but it was because it was on social media, for example. So you can block people, you can unfriend people, and you know, they might come back. It's not, as long as it's not on the, it's on the good terms, that I've done my best, and in my eyes we're still friends, but I just can't be around in virtual world. I can't be around this person anymore because it's taking away my energy.
And you can still send
but you
do some.
can, yes, you can still send, you can still think of them. It's nothing really, there's nothing negative, even if I think of them, or it is nothing. It's just probably now it doesn't really work that way. So yeah, it does happen. But also it's quite sensitive. It is a sensitive because yeah, it could be depending on the situation, isn't it, on the person that you are around and who it is.
Yeah, I wanted to say that it's still good to do some little work inside us as well, even towards the people, and especially we grow when we are able to do this little internal work towards the people who challenge us the most.
Yeah.
And this work can be, and energetically is very important for you as well. So I've got this beautiful meditation I used to do back in Ealing, back in the days years ago, where you do this little prayer like, may you be happy, may you be healthy, may your life evolves, well, and it's very good to send the good energy to people because you are healing yourself. And do you know what, many times it happened to me when I done this work, the person just called and everything was fine. It was like miraculous. This energy between us cleared up, and although I done everything possible and I felt like it's dead end, suddenly a person appeared and they said, my God, I'm so sorry, or and even if that doesn't happen, but like Zuzka said, you done everything possible. But I can almost hear your question saying now, yes, Lucia, Zuzi, is all good and well. I know I can cut of people on a social media, but what if it's my mother-in-law? Or what if it's my own mom? Or
that's
what if
why I'm
it's my
saying that.
husband?
That's why, yeah.
So of course, you can't just delete them and cut them, misfriend them from the social media. These are the people who often, especially like moms and dads and so on, you are in some kind of contact with them, and you can do adjustments. Like one of my clients is kind of bought a flat like outside of, so the week she will be spending there, the weekends with her family, but she's setting up those clear boundaries, and that's what is important in this case. Set up the clear boundaries in such a way that is going to be non-aggressive, that is going to be still done in a very loving way, loving and compassionate way, but not only towards them, but also towards yourself, because that is very important. There is a balance between love and respect you show towards, if we are talking about parents, towards your parents, but as well, the same amount of love and compassion needs to be set up towards yourself, and that's what the boundaries are for, and very important.
Exactly. And it's an ongoing work, isn't it? It's an ongoing work. It's and like you say, it is to, first of all, everything starts with us, looking at looking at yourself, myself, yourself, and like you say, even the boundaries. There is a difference in setting boundaries, whether it's like I said, and like we said, cutting off social media, or setting boundaries, saying people, but coming from the space of love, and that takes personal and internal work. So like you said, that beautiful exercise, that's really good. And also there is another one, which is you know, forgiveness, because we need to heal, forgive, you know, and to be able to do that, you have to say sorry to yourself, sorry to them, whether it's internally or it's right, you know, to them in person. It works both way. You know, forgive yourself, forgive them as forgiveness. Then, you know, being grateful to have these people in your life, because we're learning, and that's how we grow. And then love it. Love is, you know, then love them. And from that space, we can only set those boundaries that don't really feel like they're boundaries. You know what I mean? They
negative sense.
In the negative sense, yes. They feel they are boundaries in the positive sense, from the space of love.
Yes, beautiful. And what also often helps me as well, if you have a challenging relationship with someone close to you, I mean, family member who is a core part of your family, it is very important, 2 steps there, not to take it personally. I know this is probably the hardest part, because it feels very personal, especially if you are experiencing that you are being attacked maybe in some kind of way. You know, I've got one of the clients whose dad is constantly attacking her when he's drunk, and it feels really hard, because as a girls, as a daughters, all we want from our father is to be a princess, is to be validated, is to be told how clever, amazing, how much he's proud of us. And if the opposite is happening all their lives, and even now in later in adulthood, it's still a very painful thing. But very important is to detach from the personal stand in this, because the truth is, the father, or let's say father in this case, is doing it not because there is lack of love, but because this is what means for him to love. I know it takes a little moment to get your head around it, but if you read between the lines and you realize, you know, you connect his upbringing and, you know, his story, life story, his fears, which are often, you know, the case for this kind of behavior. When you join it all together, it becomes as something that really makes sense why these people are behaving the way they are behaving. They've got a reason for it, and behind all those layers, what is there is love, believe it or not. So realizing this, not taking it personally, realizing it's coming from their own pain, and the more severe attacks are, or, you know, discomfort on your side, the more severe is their own pain. And also realizing that they have their own journey. It's not our job to change them, to tell them off, to you know, make them wrong for it. We need to drop all this in order to set healthy boundaries, you know, in these kind of relationships. And maybe one more tip in terms of this, maybe it's good to put on a list of paper, and sit down and spend a little moment and write down all the people who are taking away your energy, whether it's in your workspace, or, you know, you feel exhausted when you speak to them. Even like sometimes 5 minutes with this kind of people is a lot. So write down all these people, and on the other side, again, write down the people who you love spending time with, who you laugh with, who you feel like you can be completely relaxed and yourself. Even people who, after meeting them, you feel energized and you feel empowered. And that's actually our next point. So, Susie, number 8.
Yes, surround yourself with loving people that empower you. Yeah, so yeah, we kind of, you know, bridged onto that with the first one. So yeah, who are those people from your list, and who are the people that are making you feel loved, you feel yourself, you feel at ease, you feel that, you know, you can talk about anything or start any conversation. Who are these people?
Don't feel judged.
Don't feel judged.
Very old.
Yeah, exactly. Open. Yeah.
And it's basically those people who see the best in you. You know, even when you have a bad day, they remind you, almost they always, they're great in reminding you who you truly are. And it can be friends, it can be family member, it can be your partner. It's amazing if it's your partner.
Mm.
And they kind of always almost like remind you and bring you back to what you really have in life, you know, and who you are in terms of your values, and in terms of your, you know, the quality, who you are as a human being. So those people, absolutely keep them close and appreciate them. You know, it's very important to, once you write down your list and you're clear about these people, is to tell them, to express your gratitude for you know, being in your life, and what they actually mean for you. And it sometimes person like this can be, you know, one-off conversation you had like 10 years ago. Like I had a couple months ago, I had someone writing to me from China, someone who I had no idea I contributed to, just with one conversation. And
Yeah.
this guy, you know, wrote to me saying, you know, I really took it on, and he's extremely successful.
Yeah. You
Personal
can
trainer in
definitely
China.
feel it even with one conversation, even with a message. You can definitely feel it, and this has no guys as well. You can feel it from the energy that is in what they're saying. You can feel whether it empowers you or whether it's taking away your energy. You can definitely feel it. So yes, it's amazing that, you know, from one short conversation 10 years ago,
Yeah.
you know, this person makes you feel empowered and makes you feel good.
Is those conversations that carry on with you for the rest of your life. It is something that resonated with you and that left you with, it's almost like they planted the seed that you can either hear, or sometimes we don't hear it, but when you hear it, it's got a capacity to, like, it's almost like planted a seed, and if you pay enough attention to it, maybe you can allow it to grow and it can really flourish. That's what very successful people do, actually. They hear these conversations.
Yeah, and it just reminded me, this morning I was walking home from the school that I dropped my kids off, and I was thinking, because it's nice, I usually, you know, I'm on my own, going home from school, it's my time to, I can think about whatever I need to think, you know, be focused. And sometimes I don't, depending, but today I was very, very focused. And there was a man coming up the road opposite of me, and he was looking at me. I could see, you know, when you're thinking, I could see he's looking at me. And then he smiled, and I said, hello, big smile. And I looked at him, I was like, hello. And I smiled as well. And he lives in the street, so we know each other. But, you know, it changed my energy completely, because I was like focused and like, maybe I would say probably good morning. I would probably not even kind of recognize that it's him, but just him saying hello and good morning and smile. He really had a big smile on his face. I was like, oh, that's made my morning, really. And also I remembered that I had a client, and she claimed that she was shy. She said she was shy. So, and she was shy when people looked at her, and so we did an exercise for one week, and she was she agreed to, and she wanted to, when she was walking the street, you know, she picked a person, or she looked into person's eyes and smiled. That was it. But that, she said, oh, it was so amazing. I didn't know how many happy people are around, and they can share your smile, you know, they can share it back. And some of them, obviously, because like me this morning, when we're like focused and, you know, but some of them really, when you think about it, when you look at them and you smile, they smile back, and that's energy. That's the good energy. So it's these little things that make a big difference, that make the shift in the energy. This is being around positive people as well. By you being positive, having that kind of attitude and think, sometimes be really intentional about it, changes your energy and other people's as well.
Yeah. And you know, like relationships are so important. I went to dentist yesterday as well. And it is this lovely lady, and she reminds me of my cousin, and she fixed my tooth, and she's very clever. And then we ended up like talking. I don't even know how we got there, but we talking about all sorts of things, about brain and about we got basically to my stories from Africa, when I used to live in Africa, and she's now inspired to go to Africa to experience something similar, doing charity work like I did. So you know that you never know what comes out when people start sharing and talking just freely, you know. I mean, it's one of the most extraordinary life when we come out of our little shelves and start talking to even strangers, you know, on a street. You never know what might come out of it, including new job opportunities and partnerships and marriages and God knows what else, you know.
Exactly.
Because
that's how you're starting, no? That's how you're starting.
Everything.
Your marriage.
Everything happened like this in my life, including you, Susie. So you know, like, yeah, this is extraordinary, you know. So yeah, I really want to encourage people, just like Zuzka said, you know,
all it needs is a little smile.
And like smile.
Yeah,
absolutely. Number 9, repair your relationships. So we are still talking about relationships. So we touched on it a little bit in Zuzka actually touched on it. So it's very, very important to repair the relationships that has been broken in some kind of way, or damaged in some kind of way, or you feel internally that you are not feeling free about, you know. Example is like when you're walking the street, you know, and someone is walking opposite you, you know. I wish you to have the kind of relationships and the kind of life where nobody, like, it doesn't matter who is walking on a street opposite of you, you never ever feel like you need to avoid somebody. You know, this is the kind of life I live, and trust me, it wasn't easy because I would like to encourage you and to go further, like repair the relationships that are not even like, you're not even in contact with those people. I mean, past boyfriends and husbands, and, you know, and those things that you are maybe not proud about. It takes a lot of courage to pick up the phone and say, hey, do you remember 15 years ago I lied to you about being pregnant or something, you know? Like, that's what I had to do. No, I'm joking. But, you know, yes, I mean, we all have things that we are not proud about. And you might be asking me, yes, Luz, but it's a long time ago and I don't need those people. I don't want anything to do with those people anymore. It's okay. I really get you. We don't want to look back, and because we need to look at the dirty laundry in our closet with other words, we need to look at our shadows, right? We all have shadows. I have a shadow. Zuzka's got a shadow. She's a nice girl, but she does. Same as I.
All do, yeah.
And we all do. But it's very important, because if we have these skeletons in a closet, they have a tendency energetically, guys, to carry on with us on some level or another. And I love how I and my clients experience this amazing, tremendous high, but it's not like little something, but it's literally transformational, that carries on throughout the rest of their lives, and it impacts their businesses and their marriages and their relationships with kids, and all sorts of, in very unexpected way, when they powerfully complete the old relationships with people from their past. So very, very important to do this kind of clear up, not just your wardrobe in a hallway like I did today. So yeah, that's number 9. Susie, anything on this from your side?
No, and you started and you said not just your wardrobe and hallway, and it goes hand in hand, doesn't it? if
Mm.
it goes hand in hand. So because not all, how I'm trying to say is that these relationships, and it might be past relationship, and we probably, it might be that we don't want to go there or forgotten about it and think it might have some imprint inside, and if we, and we don't know, but if we start clearing things on the outside physically, now bear with me, like surround areas that surround us, like our desk or like my wardrobe, you know, like spring clean the wardrobe, the house, the dust. When I say tidy house, or tidy house, tidy mind,
Yeah.
so then if the surface is and around you is, you start clearing and tidying, it has deeper meaning inside, and then something might clear inside without even us knowing, or by doing that things from the inside start to come up onto the surface, and like you say, out of the blue it comes out, and you feel like, oh, maybe I will, yes, because you're ready, because it's past so many years, I'll call that person, or I'll send them a message, or I'll just think of them and send them my love, love, and my gratitude. So it goes hand in hand.
Absolutely. And in case you've got, because I did have actually quite several people who said, yeah, but I can't ask for forgiveness. My mom, she passed away 5 years ago. It's still possible to do it energetically, write them a letter, do it that way.
Yeah.
It is very important. It's almost like you have some kind of baggage, like rubbish, like literally like cluttering the house, and once you clear it out, there is a space. Suddenly there is a space in your house, space in your mind, space inside you energetically, where you are much likely to create anything new and exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. Writing is so empowering and powerful and effective as well. Just writing, just start writing, and it will come out.
It will come
Whatever, there is no
out.
right, there's no wrong. Just write.
And if you don't
And
know where to start, just take the pen and say, hello, mommy.
yeah, how are you?
Yeah.
Come on, how are you?
Yeah.
I'm sitting here, and I want to write something, or I don't even know what to write. It is a conversation you're having
It's a
with your
conversation.
parents.
And also, like, how I did this as well is when I look at the person, because everybody serves you as a great teacher, and the greatest teachers are often our parents, who are challenging parents for us or their behavior. And it's very healthy and good to look at this kind of dynamics from a new perspective, like, okay, like what is my mom teaching me being this way? I had a conversation with a lady who had a twins recently, and she said, oh my god, my mom is so difficult. She is not helping me. She's like teenager, she's hard work, instead of me receiving help as a daughter, I'm like dealing with her moods and swings and other things. And so it's very, very important and healthy to look at, okay, yeah, it is what it is. The situation is what it is. Of course, you would, your ideal is maybe far, somewhere far beyond that. But like, you can look at it like, what is this situation? What is my mom teaching me with this kind of behavior? What is the lesson here for me that I can, just flirt with? And your ego might want to go, yeah, but it shouldn't be that way. Yes, it might pop up. It's okay. You are human. It's normal. But then come back, is like, okay, but is there any lesson? And when you start asking yourself new questions, you will receive new answers that might be serving you much more.
Yeah. Sometimes those lessons and those teachings come later, or we realize them later with the time. So yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Very good. Very quick one. Number 10. relevant for some, not relevant for others, but we are going to still mention it.
Yeah, start dating.
Yeah.
Start dating. Or date. Yes, start dating, exactly. So it could be for single people, or for those who are in a relationship or marriage, or start dating again.
Your husband, we mean.
Exactly. Start dating again.
Yes, yes.
Have a date night.
And like I've been recently speaking to a lot of women beyond 40 who are single at the moment. Either they just recently got divorced, or just they've been too busy and to even have a proper lasting relationship so far. And they often, I get this a lot, like they often said to me, but everybody's taken, and those who are left, they're either gay or not right, or bachelors, or I'm not attracted to, and it's like so hard. And my answer on this is always simple. There is still plenty of fish out there, and there is the odds are that there are also a lot of divorced men out there. And you can say, yeah, but they have a kids and it's more difficult. Well, of course you are a little bit older, because probably teenagers are not going to be watching us, so I'm talking to you, probably similar age to us. I say one very, very important thing if you are single. Because another thing is coming up from these ladies to me, is like saying, yeah, but men forgot how to be men. They don't court anymore. Like, and I don't want to approach the man. Guys, it doesn't, it's no shame in being friendly, being open, like Zuzka, smile, to flirt, to have fun. Like you have, so much, you can have so much fun. Like don't, if you let go of significance of, oh my God, I should be getting married, I should have been married by now, 3 kids, and if I know it's challenging, but if you let go of significance of it, you can have a time of your life. Like I remember when I got divorced first time, well, I only got divorced once, but after I healed myself, that took me a while, I started having like time of my life, because I realized, oh my God, this is how it feels to be free, and like turn it around and turn it into something exciting. And one more thing in terms of dating, and you maybe some of you saying men are not men anymore. Well, on this one, the more you allow yourself to be a woman, to put the red beautiful lipstick, so on the outside, but also more importantly on the inside, to nourish yourself, to pamper yourself, to already treat yourself like you would love your man to treat you, the more you will be in your feminine, the more you will be attracting the kind of man who will be masculine, and he will match your, it's like magnetic, the something unspoken. And this is how I attracted my husband. I done some tantric work, and 4 days later my husband found me in a tube. So yeah, the more you're vibrating this beautiful feminine energy, the more you will attract the right kind of man to your world.
Again, the work, everything starts with us, with you. I always look at myself first, or try to look at myself. And like you said, when you feel feminine, if that's what you want to attract, those kind of men being men, then be feminine, be do that work first, and then the universe will do the matching.
And
because
it's beautiful to be feminine.
It's energetic, isn't it?
Yeah. And when we say feminine with Zuzka, we don't mean feminists, those who don't let the man open the door. No, please, man, keep on opening the doors for us. We love it. I love it. I absolutely love it. And I don't think it should ever disappear. What we mean being feminine, being in your feminine, by it is, you know, nourish yourself, you know, be strong and gentle, vulnerable and powerful at the same time. You know, that's what being woman really means. Being beautiful from inside out, you know, like I can talk about it forever, but you know, that's what we mean with being you know, true female or true female. We're all true females, but you know what I'm saying, right?
But being in your own skin, you know, meaning like be yourself.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Be yourself.
Yeah. Be yourself. And number 11, we've been talking about relationships. Now we are going to touch something else, and this is very close to my heart. So number 11 tip is join a course that is larger than yourself. Not the course, the course. I have to say that is larger than yourself. And what do we mean by it is that, you know, often we are so you know, like belly button gazing, like so self-obsessed about our own happiness, about our own whatever, you know, security. And sometimes it's very, of course it's very important, but there is also a part of us, and we all have it as a human beings, and that's where the large part of even my happiness in life comes is to, you know, serve others, to do something that is lasting. And it can be a smile, it can be sharing your cookies with a neighbor or even stranger, it can be joining the charity project or raising the money that means something to you, not just, you know, sending 15 quid there. And I mean, that's good too, but you know what I'm saying. And ideally you wanna join or even create, if you want, something larger than you believe that you are able to do. Even like it happened to me actually when just before I met my husband Bled, and that's how I met him on the tube. Like I was Olympic Games, you remember 2012 in London, Zuzi, we had Olympic Games, and I was doing this project Yoga for Africa, and it was a huge project, like, and I was like hosting it, and it went to Houses of Parliament. It was like really large thing, and I was thinking, oh, little me girl from somewhere in Slovakia, like what am I, you know, like what? And I was very you know, I was very scared. I was not scared, but yeah, scared really, because I was thinking little me. But I done probably the most amount of growth doing these kind of things. That's one thing. And another thing is that it is a life-changing experience, because you really feel humanity by contributing to so many on such a large scale. It makes you cry, it brings out emotions, it makes you do the crazy things that you would never think of doing. And that's the spice of life to me, you know, to kind of reaching out to the kind of things inside yourself that you never even thought that you would dare to do. And for each of us, it's a different kind of thing. Sometimes for some of you it can be like going in a gym alone is a challenge, and that's fine, you know, a little stepping stones. But when you're doing things like this, and you know, being interested in joining some course, bigger courses than you believe yourself you are, what happens is that before you know it, you are living a meaningful life that is bringing the not only value to others but huge value to yourself. Never mind that you are going to meet the phenomenal people along the way.
Yeah, it's those selfless things, isn't it? Like, even like you said, joining the gym, that you are not feeling, you don't feel comfortable or confident, but you know deep inside, you know you want to do it and you need to do it, kind of thing. Or even that smile in the street, you might not feel like it, but if you do, And then you say, oh, wow, you know, I don't feel like it today, but I smiled and it was from my heart. And
Yeah.
look what it cost. So it's that selfless thing, selfless act, you know, which is bigger, that it is that bigger cause, isn't it?
Yeah, even like get genuinely interested in other person's world, you know, like when you ask how are you, like really mean it, and don't stop there by other person saying okay, just go like, you know, how you feeling, how
Yeah,
was your day, how are you?
exactly.
So it makes people think like, actually, how am I? Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful.
Number 12.
Spend time in nature. Love that.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I like what you put. I'm going to read what Lucia put in the notes. We really are not built to live in boxes. I like that because it's not how we started to start with. And you know, that connection with nature, it's us, part of us. And of course, we live like that now. Can't be, we live like that now, and they call our homes, you know. But having that nature, what does the nature do to us, you know? I would like to ask a question. What does it feel like when we go to nature? What does it make
What
me
does
feel
it
like
make you
when I go to?
feel?
It
What does
makes
it
me
give you?
feel. It makes me feel home. Makes me feel like, makes me feel grounded, and um, whether I need to think or concentrate or focus, or whether I need to let go of things, or I go to nature.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
I go to nature, and nature to me is part of me. So I like to walk with bare foot in weather, any weather condition, freezing,
Really?
snow, in the garden, not in the street. But in the garden, yeah, I go out, you know, I go out and then take my socks off, run into the garden when it's snow or freezing or raining. I try to do it in every weather because it's so exciting. And then you feel the connection with the nature. It's these little things, it
Mm.
doesn't have to be big. And I feel really like a buzz and excitement from
Mm.
it. Sometimes it might be that I go to the nature or to the garden if it that's what I can do right now. Just sit under the tree, is the under the tree, and you know, just sit and be
Mm.
whatever
Mm.
I need. I go to the nature, really.
Mm. I agree with everything, and I maybe add like, for me being in nature, and that's one of the reasons why I live just near mountains, because that is my home. I feel like a fairy
Mm,
there, and especially in forest. I love mountains and forest, but also water and rivers.
mm,
Um, there's
everything.
something
Yeah.
about it, and um, for me, what important thing that happens for me, I guess, when I'm in nature is that somehow it um, helps me to put things into perspective.
Mm,
I draw a lot of knowledge from nature, from the way animals behave towards each other, or whole balance in nature, because nature is always very very wise in terms of like putting things into the balance. And I believe also that for us to have our lives, um, to live a happy lives, we need to have the right balance of things as well, just like it is in nature. So I draw a lot of knowledge from nature, maybe subconsciously as well. And yeah,
yeah.
like any opportunity, tomorrow we are going sledging in nature with my kids. I spend as much time as I can in nature, alone or with my kids, whenever it's possible, alone as well. Susie, number 13.
13, start the gratitude practice.
Just very briefly on this one, what it means for you, Susie.
Oh, it's a big thing. Gratitude for me is a big thing. It's a big thing for my clients as well. It's a way of life. It's a part of me. It's a way of how I live. Gratitude is a big thing. So I could talk about gratitude a lot. I start. It's not, to me, it's not that rigid anymore. It's not like I need to be grateful in the morning or in the evening. If you're not even practicing gratitude, to me, it doesn't feel like a practice, because it's part of me and part of my life. It's a way of life. So, but I understand how if start a gratitude practice is a start, because we need to start somewhere if we're not doing it already. So one of my clients said that gratitude changed my life, and it is to be grateful, is to see the good in everything and be grateful for everything we have done, for everything that happened to us. And it is a big thing to kind of come to. But it's a way, it is a journey. It's a journey. And it's good to start it somewhere. And the practice is a good way to start that journey. We already are, for example, and I want to say it a bit, make it a bit closer. For example, if anyone is religious or anything, you know, or meditating, or being thankful for things, it is a way, it is gratitude practice. When we pray for what, you know, for things that happen to us, or we're grateful for things that happen to us in the prayer or in the meditation as well, you know. So when we thank to someone, it's already an act of gratitude. So yeah, but once you are more aware of it, it changes everything.
Changes everything. And I agree with you, once it becomes almost like your DNA.
Yes.
Like, for example, like I have it similar to Zuzka. I don't do it like religiously every morning, like my daily routine. I don't do it anymore because it's core of me most of the time. Like, for example, I'm driving, and sometimes I don't know, like I need to overtake another car. And it's funny, like I've got this, and I do it subconsciously now, like when I finish the overtaking the car, I stroke the middle of my steering wheel, like, oh, thank you. You know, it's like silly little things, you know. I mean, when I'm cuddling with my kids, definitely, like, you know, they go quiet and I'm smelling them and kissing them. I have a lot of gratitude, like every day. Like, but what I'm saying is that if you don't have it, it's very, very different life. And I also on this note say probably bringing in the gratitude is one of the most powerful ways to get out of the bad mood, or you know, when something really doesn't work out, or when you have a bad day, or something bad happened, or God forbid, you know, my friend died last week. So, you know, coming back to those moments of honoring the person, of the, you know, those things when you express your gratitude and you realize the preciousness of life. With other words, you turn it around and make something beautiful. That's, I think, what he would love, and all the people who love us, and that's what serves us the best in life, you know, like this kind of. So yeah,
and
absolutely.
not every gratitude, expressing gratitude, is smiling or turning things around, like you said. It's realizing, or like, for example, when I look, I usually do, and it's one of the things that what I do is, at the end of the day, before I go to sleep, I say prayers, or I'm grateful for the day, but it's very specific. I kind of like think about, depending how tired I am,
Yeah.
but if I'm very tired, let's say I'm very tired, I just kind of think about the main thing that I've done or happened in the day, and then it's not always a, mm, something positive or not, it's because, we live life and life is challenging. Every day is challenging. So if it's something like you say, the other day, I thought of my mom because it was going to be her birthday. And yes, I cried. Yes, but within that sadness, you are grateful for having had that person in your life. And if you still think that the person is still with you, like I do, I can feel, then I'm grateful for that. So that is the it's also being grateful for the things that are happening, even sometimes they're not a good things, or we think they're not good things, they might make us sad or cry, but having that kind of reflection and being grateful. Okay, I had a bad day, this happened to me, but I'm here, I made it to bed, and I can go to sleep so that is the expression of gratitude as well.
Yeah. Absolutely. Like when I love that moment when you cover up after a long day. Sometimes I wake up 3 in the morning, so it's long day for me. And when I cover up, cozy up in my bed sheets, and just like my bed is so cozy, and I'm like, oh, it's so nice. So that's gratitude, that you don't always have to just say thank you or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I feel so good, right? Or when I go in a bath with my kids and it's nice and warm, and my daughter now does this. She always does this side, like, when she goes to bath, she goes, because I do it. That's the gratitude, for the warmth.
It is.
These days when it's so cold out there. Okay, good. Sorry,
Yeah.
Susie, I'm rushing a little bit because I can
Next
see
one,
we've got minutes to go. But very briefly, number 14, set up the daily routine that works for you. What we mean by that is very, very healthy. I do it and I redo it and because life changes, especially when you have a kids or when you get a new job or whatever, when you take on, now it was New Year's resolutions like exercising, set up. There is no rule, guys. I want to say this first and foremost, right? I said, like, sometimes I wake up 3 o'clock in the morning and I'm writing my book because I feel like it. Maybe some people think it's crazy. It works for me. That's where I feel creative. Yeah. And then I rest or sleep later on in a day. So I'm not suggesting you do this. I just use that as an example of, setting up the routine, the kind of routine that works for you. So for me, for example, exercise in the morning, meditation, that works for me because I know once my day starts, I'm like, it goes so fast that I like to feed myself first. Like even if it's early in the morning, and then I feed others, basically. The rest of my children, my clients, and so on.
And I just want to add quickly that yes, so that works for whatever works for you. There are people that are sleeping in the day and or sleeping in the morning because they're doing night shifts and things, so are awake in the night. Or some people work better or are creative in the evening or in the night. So exactly. That's what we're trying to say, is set up a daily routine that works for you. No point of trying to push yourself to get up early in the morning because someone says so. Yeah. And you are tired because you work in the night and you can't do it. Yes. Or you were up doing your best, being your best creative, your best work in the night, and then you can't get up in the morning. It's natural, you can't. You need your sleep, you need your rest.
Yes, but it's very good to have a look, like, what works for you, and for that you need to be self-aware. Like, what works for you? What, when you feel the most productivity, do you feel productive? And if not, like, what is missing? Why are you feeling tired? Like, a lot of people are feeling tired and exhausted. Like, what is taking away my energy? Is it people? Is it work I do that doesn't make sense? Is it because I worry a lot? Yes, it's very, very important.
Is it the season, because we're in winter now, so most of us are
Yeah.
probably tired.
Is
So
it
yes.
is it the space you live in? Is it your home actually? You know, because it's so much mess that it takes you like 15 minutes to find anything every day. So, you know, it's really good to look at this as well. And while we are on that, we have number 15, create a beautiful living space. Now, this is my mantra. Like I'm not saying I don't have a messy home from time to time. Of course I do. I have a little twins, but you know, it's not like, it's very important to me to have a clean, beautiful home, and functional as well, you know, like practical as well as beautiful, and decluttered as much as possible. Like I spent last week sorting these things out. I'm almost at the end, and it feels so good, you know. And I love my home. My home is literally my kingdom. Like I love, and a lot of people who come to my home love the space. You know, like energy is good here. I how you say Shalvia, Susie? I don't know. I've got these
Sage.
sage. Yes, thank you. I burn the
Burn
sage every day before, you know, for my meditation practice. So my nannies say they always smell so nice and beautiful. Like it always smells so nice in your home, and
Yeah.
you know, like all this is like, it's very, very important to create and maintain the beautiful living space. And I take it even further. Like I yesterday I bought this little one. Not everybody will like it, but you know, I just thought it's very cute, and I felt like feng shui wise, I want something in a corner here, because so I don't have any edges. So I continuously like keep on creating and designing beautiful living space, because you know, I want energy to flow beautifully, and it does, you know. And I don't know, I think it's very, very important, and it
It
contributes
is. Yeah.
general
Like
happiness.
I said, tidy house, tidy mind. And there is another thing. I can't remember who it was. It was kind of, it's a saying as well, or someone did a study. Now I'm not sure how you do. You make up your bed in the morning. So apparently, if you make up in your bed in the morning, that kind of creates the direction how your day is going to be. If you get up from the bed and you left it mess, obviously if we are in a, you know, it's not every day, but in general,
Yes.
And it's a study, so it was done on, in certain country, probably on certain amount of people. So, but yeah, do make up your bed in the morning. If I don't do that, if I don't make my bed, I feel like something is missing. I'm like kind of, you know, so I have to do it. If I don't manage to do it straight away in the morning, then I have to go back because of the kids or something. It doesn't happen very often, but I go back and do it.
Yeah.
So it's very rarely that happens that my bed is not made.
I'm very same. And plus it is so nice to come back from, you know, busy day, and you know, you come back and you come to, you know, clean home. That's
Yeah.
And not always, you know. For example, I've got a nanny,
It's
I've got
not
a lady.
always possible,
It's not
you know,
always
again.
possible, especially for moms, like business moms like Zuz and and we both have a cleaners. I know, Zuz, you do as well. So you know, you can't do everything, but there's always the way how you can find a support, because you know, I need to do things what other people can't do. So I learned over the years, having my business busy, being busy mom as well now, to delegate as much stuff as I can, you know. And you know, for many years I didn't have assistant when I started my business. It was only, I think, in 2016 when I hired Erin. And we are sharing assistants with Zuzka, and it was a life changer for you as well, Susie. You know, like, you know, so if you are listening to us and you have your own business, don't wait till your business is like multiple, whatever, six-figure thing, because you can totally afford this kind of people. You can manage it. You can, you know, like, what I'm trying to say, don't try to do everything yourself. And with this, I'm getting to number 16.
I was thinking that work-life balance.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the work-life balance. You know, if we again, whether we're working full time or, you know, or having your own business, it is that work-life balance. I think most of us want it, and to be the only person that does all that or tries to achieve it is impossible. We are risking of going towards a burnout, complete burnout.
Well-being.
Yeah, and well-being, it suffers. So especially, and I'm not especially, you know, we do need to have to enjoy ourselves, to be able to do what we want to do, and be with our families or whatever, friends or whatever might be, you know, looking after our loved ones, animals, and things like that,
or even do something spontaneous, or for a little moment do nothing. Like
do nothing.
Like I was really entertained this morning. They've been cutting the big trees outside of my house, and I was like, you know, I was having like it was entertainment for me, because it was literally, you know, 3 meters from my window, and I was like thinking, I hope it's not going to fall this way. So I went to the other side, and then I encouraged myself to look from the other angle and saw this big tree going poof, you know. And for me it was like, I'm so glad I live the kind of life where I can even notice these things, you know what I mean? Like I used to be so busy in the past that I wouldn't, you know, like this,
didn't even notice it.
no,
Exactly.
no, nothing. Like, what's the weather? I don't know. I've been in.
Yeah, exactly. Like me this morning when I saw that, when I was walking like that.
And sometimes you do that, and sometimes I do that, like you said. Like sometimes we need to have a like complete focus, but not all the time. That's when things happen, like I crashed into lamppost. I was like, that was my wake-up call. I was like, Lucia, you need to kind of slow down a little bit.
But then those things happen, don't they? It happened. So I was like, all right, okay, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. You like look up there, like, oh, okay.
Yeah, like
need to pay more attention. Need to pay more attention.
Enjoy life. My reminder. Okay, number 17. Maybe we can get through all this, right? I know.
Yes,
sorry,
I think
Susie,
so.
I'm overrunning, but next one is make a changes list. Susie, go.
So make changes list is what when we are in kind of that phase that we do want to make the change, or things are not working as we would like them to be, something is nudging inside. So make a list of things that you would like to change. That's it. What would you like to change? And have a look at the list and see where you can start first.
Yes. And we can talk about it forever, but I will say one important thing is that it is important to have this kind of list, but what is maybe also equally important is please, when you create this kind of list, create it bearing in mind is that what you already are, who you are, what you have, who you're being is already enough. Guys, it really is. You know, created from that sense of it is perfect as it is, and there is something else possible. So with that kind of sense of inspiration for you, for yourself, be motivated, right? So if you're like, I don't know, 70 kilos and you would like to weigh less, because it would be good for your health and you would feel lighter and then yes, by all means, like go and adapt your diet and your calorie outtake in appropriate way that works for you and your lifestyle. However, don't do it like I have to because I'm ugly, being 70 kilos, right? Like I hate myself, because it's not going to happen. It's not going to work. It's going to be hard work, even if it is going to work, and it's not going to be lasting, because you know.
And usually those what we want are quite big, aren't they? Those things that we want and we want to change are big steps. When you think about it, you know, to change
little steps,
diet or, you know, or lose weight, it is a big step. It's a big thing. So being mindful, like it is, you know, love yourself for who you are right now, and like you said, and willing to change it or make things so that so that you change it, but little by little, step by step, and be kind to yourself. Because those things are big. Those, not what we want is usually big.
It's usually big. And also don't forget that it's been building up over the years, these habits, these weight, these kilos, these whatever, right? So you can't change it over the 1 month and fix it all, right? It also takes some time. Okay, number 18, make a bucket list.
Make a bucket list.
Who knows what is bucket? So basically, write down everything and anything and keep on writing it. I do keep on writing it. Anything and everything what you would like to experience in this lifetime. Life is precious, guys, and I love to live in this space that anything is possible in life, right? And I love my dreams, and some of them I already been to those places. Some of them I of course still want to go. Get inspired from your friends, from documentary films, from anywhere and anything. It's good to have that list. And don't not write the list just because you think it's not possible. Sometimes you can be in that space thinking, yeah, but I have no money, or it's easy for you, or like, don't stop dreaming, guys. Don't stop creating, at least writing it down. Like, it is very first and maybe one of the most important steps. You know what? When I went to study in yoga in India, I had the little, at that time my bucket list was only starting, and I had the little piece of paper with a contact number on this special yoga training place where one of the teachers who inspired me wrote it down on the piece of paper. And I swear to God, one weekend I was like decluttering and I found this little piece of paper, and because I had it as one day someday, but I found it. I took a first action. I wrote, I filled up the application because not everybody could study there, and they accepted me. And I was like, oh my God, I think I'm going. Because I didn't think they will accept me. But like, that's what I mean, guys. And it was on my beginning of my bucket list. And if I don't write it down, I don't think it would, it would materialize.
And
I'm so happy.
Yes, exactly. And I would to fine tune that, right? Put it down when you feel it, that you want it, or that is your dream. Because like, once we start thinking about it too much, then it goes. So write it down then. Yes. Yes, that's what I would.
I love to do the most spontaneous things and probably the best things in my life, including Namibia, Africa, all my travels, Australia, Thailand, Asia, all that happened. Like, it was spontaneous decisions. I think if I'm thinking about it too much, I'll never go. Like,
no, exactly.
Excuse me, like walking with lions, it's like, you're crazy. Chased by elephants, no thank you.
No, exactly.
So I didn't think
and those are the little things. Those little things are the things that are coming from our inside and from our soul, and those are they don't last that long, but they're true to us, and those are the things that we those nudges, the things that do this. And then when we start thinking about it too much, like, is it too much? Is it too big? Am I ever gonna do it? So write it down then, and that's it. That's the bucket list.
Listen to your intuition. Yes. You know what you want. Just listen. Yeah. Okay, number 19. I'm not even going to go there because this is massive. Like, sleep and eat well. Guys, so important to sleep and eat well. I know everybody's talking about it, but I finally started like really paying attention to what I put in my mouth, because as a new mom, I hands up, I wasn't that good. And, I feel like $1 million. Like, I can't even tell you how good I feel now compared to, half year ago. So sleep and eat well, and sleep is big part of it, guys. Big part of it. Number 20. Yeah. Susie.
20. Slow down. Slow down. Yeah, sometimes we might ignore that kind of call, slowing down and being tired, and we think, okay, I'll just do this and I'll just do that. I still got to do that. That is tired, that is messy. But we can do that, and it's fine. But when we're pushing ourselves too much for too long, then it pays its toll on our mental health, burnout, all of it, all no, not enough sleeping. So slowing down means when once you slow down, or allow yourself to slow down. I would start with that, because it's not easy sometimes to slow down, is it? We know what we're talking about. So allowing yourself to slow down when you feel like you need to slow down, it's very powerful. It means that then you can speed up, or you can be yourself, and you can be your best self.
Yeah. And you know, I can put my hand up. I've got a tendency naturally in my personality to speed up, because I love the buzz, I love life, I love creativity, I love, you know, my brain just so I need to really pay attention to this. So in case you are a little bit similar like me, that you have this tendency to do a lot of things, and you know, all fingers in many pies and so on, juggling millions of balls, for us more than for other people is even more important. As this guy's similar, I think.
Yeah.
Very clever girls we are. That's what we are. And it's very important for us to keep on slowing down and keep on doing some kind of practice, ideally daily practice, where we can be mindful, where we can realize when, for example, when we are running so fast for too long. Because if we miss those warning signs, from my experience as well, you will be stopped, you know, one way or another. Who knows this one? Please let me know if you've been running and, you know, and then suddenly you broke your leg and you're like,
yeah,
you know, dislocated your hip like me, you know, like
me as well recently. Yeah. Twisted my knee. Yeah, it could go on and on. Yeah.
Yeah. So and that's all signs like hello. It's like shh. So very, very important, because then you get stopped for a long time, and then, you know, I mean, it's okay. Sometimes I sprint as well, but I make sure I'm not sprinting for too long. And it's like with running, guys. I mean, same thing, right? You cannot sprint for a week in a row, because you will burn out, you will exhaust yourself, and then it will take you 3 times longer to recover. So if you add it all, you know, you would be much better off and much more efficient to maybe sprint for a little time and then go back to your normal pace, because the break you take, you know, you will need to take, because you will have no other option, then will basically be
but
really
then slow. And then once you slow down, and you really slow down, then it is like magic. Once you like in that kind of slow down, it's like magic. Things start to that were pushed down and deep down inside start to emerge. They suddenly have space to come up, and so you might get lots of burst of ideas, or find a new energy, or you know, something very meaningful, or realize very important things, or just realize that, you know, my health and my sanity and my well-being is very important. This is what happened in the pandemic globally, isn't it? So many people realize that. So that's what happens when we slow down. So, you know, there's again balance in both. So it's good to do the long run, and sometimes we need to do fast, we need to move fast, but remember slowing down as well. There is magic in that as well.
And I also I love this correlation. I was talking to one of my friends, and I love that metaphor. Like, you know, when you're on a highway, cars are going really fast. And yes, you can definitely go like maybe even 180 or whatever, but you might miss the important turns. You know, you will never see the views, right? You will never have opportunity to have a little diversion, so you can actually, you know, enjoy the scenery, or maybe a little castle there, or maybe some conversation that you would be able to have with the passenger if you go a little bit slower, because if you're going in that speed, that's A, dangerous, B, you might even miss the toilet break, because you know, I had one of my clients, and this is not even funny, but I mean, it's reality. She said she went for a checkup, and she said that you know, she's got a very large, like enormously large bladder. And they said, did you have a surgery or something? You know, like, this is enormous, you know, like, it's like, no, I just had a very busy life. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Imagine.
Holding up a lot. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
yes, number 21, ask yourself the very important question. Susie, let's go. Maybe we can read this one as well.
yeah, this is what you wrote. So this is what I'm going to do. So okay, so the question is, are you asking yourself, is this what I'm going to do? Maybe you should read it because you wrote it.
It's okay. It's okay. One question, and if you take nothing from this streaming, but this one is a gold dust, okay? This is what I call a nugget for my clients, like, you know, yum, yum, yum. This is the question, okay? So ask yourself a question in any moment, wherever you are. Is this what I'm doing right now, saying or thinking right now, getting me closer to what I truly want in life, or is taking me away from what I want? Yeah. So it can be anything, guys. Yeah. Stuffing yourself with a ice cream, chocolate, full bucket of it, unconsciously, you know, until you feel sick. You know, is it really bringing you closer to what you want, the kind of body, the kind of feeling you want to have inside? Or is it, you know, so we in general do things in life from, and Tony Robbins is talking about it a lot, from the space of fear. Mostly as a human beings, we do that. We go to work so we have money to pay the bills, la la la. Or from the space of love, being inspired by doing something for others, giving that smile Zuzka was talking about, you know, creating something lasting, you know. So this definition and this distinguishing, like, am I doing this from the space of fear, reaction towards someone who hurts you, or from the space of love and compassion? Very, very important. So, you know, with this, I think I will close this marathon of wonderful Facebook Live. I wish you guys to ask yourselves the right questions that are going to be moving you not only through life, but towards life you love.
Very beautiful. Nice to end this live over that we've carried on over 2 weeks.
Beautiful.
So yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you, Susie. Thank you very much for your time. Everybody, let's have a wonderful weekend, and let's enjoy the end of January. I will be speaking to you probably next week with my friend Eva, because it's my birthday and we've got something special for you.
Lovely.
Susie, thank you very much. And I will speak to you, and Susanna will be joining us again in 2 weeks' time, right, Susie?
Yes, I will be.
Can't wait.
See
we
you.
prepare something cool for you again. Bye bye, guys.
Bye everyone.